Round 5 of the Mintex British Historic Rally Championship would see the crews take to the asphalt for the first of 4-point scoring rounds in a row this season. Nick Elliott comes into this round with a perfect score so far, 4 wins from 4th, but this would be his first time competing on the Irish lanes.
We knew at the start of the year our strength is on the gravel, and we proved that by winning 4 of them. We're now on the back foot. Jason's strong on the tarmac, and he needs to win, some tarmac rounds. And so for us, it's more about starting points, finish, and keep the car in one piece, and hope on one of the events later in the year that we can pick him somewhere. But
a win so far was still eluding Jason Pritchard, but asphalt was a surface he was strong on. This weekend could be a turning point in the championship for the Welsh driver.
I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty close between all of us here this weekend. Can't take anything for granted. So it's new stages to us all. It's totally different. The last time I was in Ireland was 7 years ago. So we'll see. We'll just do our own thing, and what will be, will be. We can do no more. So we'll see.
Stanley Orr returns to the championship for what was essentially his home round. His look hadn't been great so far this season, so he'll be looking to turn that around here in Trim.
Looking forward to getting back out. We haven't been out since the Pirelli, since our problem in the Pirelli where we slid off and broke the steering. First time out, the car's only just started again, basically a week ago, so just try and keep a sensible head for the first loop of stages and see how we go.
So Nick Elliott leads the crews away from the Castle Arch Hotel in Trim. Phil Jobson leads the Category 2 runners away just ahead of Stanley Orr. A compact loop of 3 stages run 3 times face the crews with the added bonus of limited road miles. Coverage of the BHRC is brought to you by our TV partners. So onto the stages then, and it will be the expected lead for Jason Pritchard and Phil Clark. They take the early advantage, even with a spin on the 3rd stage of the day.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It's nice and dry and fast, but the first 2 were okay. I felt I was a bit steady, and then on the last one, the second corner in, we spun between the banks and lost 20 odd, maybe 30 seconds, so stalled it and had to go back up the road to turn around. So the rest of the stage was all right, but just kicking myself for that silly mistake, but it's rallying.
Rob Smith and Alan Cook join the championship for the asphalt rounds. They make a good start with 2nd, but there was still some time to gain after a slightly cautious start.
Very tricky in places, even where there isn't gravel. There's some slimy, sticky bits that are proper slippy. So it's, just feeling a way in really, trying not to put it in the bank. But yeah, the stages are great though, good fun, really good.
Nick Elliott and Dave Price will be going well on their first trip to the Irish stages. They had to get used to both the car and the stages though this weekend, so it was taking some settling in. They lie in 3rd place for now and just 12 seconds back from the lead.
actually, it went quite well. We're a little bit steady on the first one, but I think our pace on 2 and 3 was a bit more respectable. And yeah, we were sweating at the end, so we must have been trying fairly hard. And yeah, it's a learning curve, definitely. Car, the stages, and everything all combined in one day. So I'm happy we've done 3 clean. We had no moments. Car's good, and I think we can get quicker. So I've no idea where we are positions-wise, but whatever. I'm happy that we've had 3 nice stages.
Woody Lancaster and Guy Weaver hadn't had the best of championships of late. 2 non-finishes in a row were not helping things. They've been more hopeful this weekend and in the morning loop with 4th place despite some issues with the gearbox.
Yeah, not really. We had a few clutch issues on the first stage. Couldn't get gears on, high-speed downshifts, which was a bit unnerving with the chicanes and things. But I've adjusted the stop a little bit, which has improved it a tiny bit. We're going to have a look now. It's just not easy to select lower gears, so and you're all in a bit of a muddle then trying to knock speed off and power out of corners. But yeah, I think we're about 4th at the moment, so see where it goes.
Stanley Orr and Stephen McCauley had written their own notes this weekend for the first time and will be happy with the pace. They end the morning leading category 2 and in 5th place overall.
I'm not sure. Well, it feels not bad. A couple of issues. A gear knob keeps slackening, and every time I keep missing the gear, but it's not a big deal. Overall, very happy with first time ever to make our own pace notes. Stephen along with me and give me a hand to do that, and we're happy with him. Going well for the new pace notes in the first 3 stages. I'm happy enough.
Tim Freeman and Paul Williams would get caught out in the early stages, spinning the car towards the start of stage 1. Thankfully, they don't hit anything and recover things quickly to get back on the pace, 6th place overall at this stage in the event.
Yeah, I think that was the only spin I've had. Went in there a bit loose and lost it. Yeah, not too bad. Not right up on the pace yet, but taking it probably a bit too steady.
And sadly, it would be bad luck for Phil Jobson and Arwell Jenkins. They go off into a field in the morning loop. They do get it going again, but with some damage, and down in 7th place, over 15 minutes off the rest of the field.
We think it's just relatively minor, but I mean, it's cost us. We went into a field. We just a 3 left came up a bit quick, and we just ended up. Fortunately, the gate was open, and we managed to just about make it into the field. And it's obviously we hit the gateway on the way in, and I think it's just knocked the tracking out. Somehow it's maybe got steering arm bent, or I thought it was the rack to start with, but it's so I mean the wheels pointing in different directions really when we came out of the field, so we had to stop, pull over, try and remedy it, but we lost a lot of time. So that's a maximum on that stage, I guess, but we just need a finish.
So with the morning loop of stages complete, it's the lead for Jason Pritchard, but that lead wasn't quite as big as he might have wanted. The same 3 stages would be run again for stages 4 and 6, but that didn't mean the crews could be overconfident. The conditions can change throughout the day. On to the next leap of stages then, and it would be all change at the top. Jason Pritchard and Phil Clark sadly retiring the car with mechanical issues, and the win eluding them once again. So that left Rob Smith and Alan Cook in the lead now. They were pushing on more now, but that lead wasn't a comfortable one, just a single second of advantage going into the final parts of the day. Chasing them down would be Nick Elliott and Dave Price. They didn't come here to push for the win, but that was surely looking like a possibility now. The question will be how they approach the final stages of the event. For Stanley Orr and Stephen McCauley, it would be 3rd place. The pace was increasing stage by stage, and the pair were sat reasonably comfortably in that final podium place and in the lead of the category. With the problems still continuing, it would be a struggle for Rudy Lancaster and Guy Weaver. They were making the best of the situation and driving as best they could with the gearbox issues. 4th place and 31 seconds back from Orr. Tim Freeman and Paul Williams were still trying to gain back some of those lost seconds from the earlier spin. They do end the second loop with 5th place, but were over a minute back from Lancaster and would be likely to stay there unless there were problems ahead. And with the car repaired as best that they could, it will be 6th place for Phil Jobson and Arwell Jenkins. They needed a finish this weekend, so the lost time will be irrelevant at this stage. So with 6 of the 9 stages complete, it's all change at the top, and the battle for that win was close. 3 more stages remained, but with some rain on the way, those results could change once again. So on to the final stages then, it will be the finish for Phil Jobson and Arwell Jenkins. Not the result they would have wanted, but some good championship points. Worst was to come at the top though. Nick Elliott and Dave Price sadly go off the road into a ditch in the final loop of the day, ending their hopes of a good result here this weekend. Tim Freeman and Paul Williams are unable to gain a place in the last loop. They settle for 4th place, gaining the most from the championship crews here this weekend. Rudy Lancaster and Guy Weaver push on in the final 3 stages and record some great times. Sadly, it will be too little too late, and the pair have to settle for 3rd place. They'd end the event just 3 seconds back from Stanley Orr and Stephen McCauley. The battle was close, but Orr holds on to his advantage to take 2nd place and the category win. But that would mean it's the win for Rob Smith and Alan Cook. A victory of just 1 minute at the end of the event, the fight for that win not being an easy one this weekend. So before we chat to our winners, here's a reminder of those final results. Rob Smith starts off his season with a win on a results table, missing our championships front runners. Stanley Orr gets his season back on track with a Category 2 win this weekend. Coverage of the BHRC is brought to you by our TV partners.
Yeah, really happy. Yeah, the car's been in bits since Flatters last year, and this is the first event out of the box since putting it back together. We only put it back together last week. Thought we'd put an entry in, came over to have a go, and it's been a great day. The conditions have been really tricky. The last loop, we had rain in the middle of the stages. It's like ice in places, but tyres worked fantastically well, and we had a great run. So really happy.
Yeah, good stages, good rally. It's nice to do that sort of miles too in one day. So it is, you know. But yeah, good, enjoyed it.
It's been a right old slog today. Yeah, you've slugged that one out from start to finish. No intercom at the beginning of the event. Clutch sort of almost disappeared on the first group of stages and has now completely gone. So you know, starting it in gear and, you know, running away. I think we had 3 fastest stage times on the bounce, don't ask me how, on the last 3. And I think we've just missed Stanley by about 3.9 seconds from being 30 back going into the last third. So great fun.
Next up, the crews stick with the asphalt and the Harry Flatters rally. In the meantime, keep an eye on ours and the Championship's social media for more videos and updates.